Hey guys, today we're going to take a look at the freshly released high-grade Victory 2 Assault Buster Gundam, or V2 Assault Buster, or LM314V23/24 Victory 2 Assault Buster Gundam. It's a very, very long name they tried to squish onto the front of the box here. But basically this is a version of the Victory 2 Gundam that has a lot of this kind of extra equipment on it. Here on the cover we can see the Victory Gundam and the Victory Dash Gundam, which was also recently released. I am a big fan of these designs, but this is the first one in the string of recent high-grade releases that we've got from the Victory Gundam series. This is the first one that I've got, so I'm looking forward to giving it a try. They're all relatively cheap, and I do really like the V-Dash, so if I really like this one, then I might go ahead and try to get the V-Dash as well. I built the Master Grade Verka kit quite a few years ago, and I remember it was pretty cool, but definitely had some issues. I don't really remember it very well. I just remember that it did have a few issues. At the time it was a little bit temperamental, I remember, but anyway. This kit is a 2015 release, as it was just released very, very recently. Let's take a look at the bottom of the box. Here's a front and back look of the kit. That yellow gold looking parts are supposed to be gold, but I know that they are actually just that gold molded plastic that Bandai does that no one really seems to like. So if you want those to really be gold, then they're going to have to do some painting. And then here we got just some information about the V2 Assault Buster Gundam and some statistics there. Here on the side, they're up to 189 in the HGUC kits, so kit number 200 should be on the way pretty soon. And here we've got all of the action and gimmick stuff here. It's a bit about the core lander, or core fighter. Front and back kind of view, action shots, the new kind of super rifle, I forget exactly what it's called, and then the new version of the beam rifle as well. Here showing that you can just make the V2 Assault Gundam or the V2 Assault Buster Gundam, depending on your choice. Basically just a souped up version of the V2 or a super souped up version of the V2. And then here's again just the three of those kits in this series together. They do look good together, I'll give it that. And they are very, very small. You have to remember that this mobile suit is quite small. 2,000 yen for the list price on this. And while I'm talking about the size, let me just go ahead and go around here to the back so I can tell you exactly. 15.5 meters, so it's a good about 3 meters shorter than the RX-78-2 Gundam. Okay, so let's open it up, and we're immediately greeted with that nasty gold plastic there. Some white runners in bag number 1. Bag number 2 has some polycaps and a bunch of our blue parts there. Bag number 3, smaller runners, more white and then some red as well. And bag number 4, a little bit more yellow parts. Our sticker sheet, which looks quite large and intense there, and some more white, plenty of white here. And we've got a few pack-in things. Let's see, what's this? Mobile Suit Victory Gundam Blu-ray Box 1. That's some nice Blu-ray art there. It would be a nice Blu-ray to have, but those are so expensive in Japan. And here's advertisement about the P-Bandai exclusive effect parts for that. And let's take a look at the guide or manual. Nice big HGUC goodness there with just a picture of the kit all painted up, and then all of our stats here. On the back, once again, most of the same stuff that we saw on the outside of the box. Core fighter, rear view weapons, and then the V2 Assault Gundam and V2 Buster Gundam combined. And then here's our color guide. So we have a pretty good amount of different colors there if you want to go for everything being accurate. But a few of those are just very small color apps, mostly. Let's open it up to the inside, and then here we do have on this page a little bit more about the V2 Assault Buster Gundam there. And here's our color pages. We'll come back to that. Let's go to the parts list here. And we can see there probably isn't going to be too many X's here. There's one on these first two runners, 1 X each, and that looks like it. So it looks like we're only going to have 2 parts left over from this, so that's pretty cool. Starting off with the construction, I guess here maybe we have a few choices. That's kind of interesting. Maybe which path you want to follow depending on which version you want to make. The V2 Assault Buster, the V2 Assault Gundam, or the V2 Buster Gundam. So you have some choices. I think obviously we're going to go for the full Assault Buster. But let's see, starting off with the head, then the shoulders and arms there, then putting the upper body together. Then moving on to the legs. Should be pretty simple. Then the waist unit. You can see this is where reading katakana is going to come in handy. So you can see which one. This one says Assault Gundam. This one says Buster Gundam. This one says V2 Assault Buster Gundam. So if you can read katakana, it'll help you to follow the correct steps. Then moving here to 24, we're working on the backpack. And finally on the color pages is where we're going to see finishing up the backpack and then moving on to the weapons. Like so. And then finally just mounting on the action base, and I think that is it. Yep, so let's take a closer look at the runners. Alright, first up is the foil sticker sheet, and it's quite a colorful one. As we can see, we've got the eyes, and then just a whole bunch of other different colors. Here's a bunch of green cameras there. The rest of these other ones are just going to go around on different places on the kit. I know these black and red ones are going on the shield, as well as this big black and yellow one, I believe, as well. I know that V2 Assault Buster shield does have quite a lot of stickers on it on this kit, sadly, but that's just how we're going to have to go for that anyway. For our polycaps, we've got PC002, and if I saw the manual correctly, we are actually going to be using all of these, so no leftover polycaps. That's pretty cool. And here is runner A1, just a bunch of our white parts here. We can see quite a lot, including the head and just how small it is, but despite the size being very small, the detail looks very, very nice, so that's always good. Then we have runner A2 as well, which is just a copy of the one side of the A1 runner, just a bunch more of our white armor parts. Runner B is going to be making up the majority of our kind of joint and frame kind of parts, but mostly just joints there, and then we can see the parts for the beam rifle there as well, some hands, and assorted other just kind of our gray parts, because this is our only gray runner. Here's runner C, and one thing that I forgot to mention about runners A1, A2, and B is that those runners were all marked as HGUC 1/144 scale V2 Gundam, as is this C runner. This is our first blue runner, and this one is also marked for the V2 Gundam, so no new runners yet, as these are all copied from just the standard V2 Gundam. Then we have runner D1, is just some yellow parts here. So those are going to make up the kind of signature V, yellow V look on the front of the Gundam that kind of a little bit gives it its namesake here. And then D2 is some red parts there for the feet and face, and a couple other red details, the elbows as well. And then one new part, I believe, that will be going on the cannon. But this runner is still marked V2 Gundam, so still nothing new. Then we have runner G1, and this runner is now marked HGUC V2 Assault Buster Gundam, so these are going to be our new white armor pieces and weapon pieces that are specific for the Assault Buster Gundam. And runner H1 are our new blue parts, and here we can see just the parts for the shield and the cannon and some new back skirts there as well, and some other new parts all around. And last but not least, or maybe it is the least, is runner I, and these are our gold plastic parts. So they probably don't look too bad on camera, but they don't look too great in real life. I mean, they're gold, and I mean, they'll look decent, but it's just going to look so much better if you just paint the gold yourself. So just pick up a can of gold spray paint if you don't use an airbrush, or some even just gold paint, just hand paint on there. Anything will be better than this probably if you really want to make it gold. Or I mean, if you don't want it gold, then just paint a different color. But that's it for the runners. So that is it for unboxing the HG V2 Assault Buster Gundam. It's quite a lot of stuff in that just HG box, and considering how small the mobile suit is, there's quite a lot of parts in there, but I think we're going to have quite a lot of extra parts depending on which version of the mobile suit that we choose. As we saw in the parts list, there weren't many X's there, but I think that was not accounting for which version of the mobile suit you're going to choose. I think if you choose one or the other, then you might actually have a lot of leftover parts. We'll just have to see for sure when I go ahead and put it together, and I'm going to be doing that tomorrow, so I'll see you guys very soon with the review coming up. Thanks for watching.